deprivation, a nightmare. How did we end up with this? How can we fix this?
For today's documentary, we will talk about the nightmare that students experience. I am your host, Zaira Beltran. Be with us until the end of this journey. Deprivation is the impact on the academic performance of IEHS as grade 7 students. The title of the research study
shows the consequential effects of sleep deprivation among the IEHS SPJ grade 7 students.
Accompanying the research study is a TV production entitled JOURNTayo Behind the Sleepless Nights and Restless Days.
This production highlights the focus on the difficulties that students face when taking online classes. The new normal trend in the field of education has paved the way for the blended learning modality among students.
As education still thrives, even in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, it changes the
Time management and body clock schedules of almost everyone, causing sleep deprivation problems to rise rapidly. It demonstrates the impact of sleep deprivation on academic performance and, more importantly, mental health. It shows the everyday struggle of the students suffering from sleep deprivation, which is a problem that needs to be resolved, especially in these times wherein both the studies and the mental health of the students are our priorities. This statistic shows the result of the survey questionnaire that we conducted among IEHS SPJ grade 7 students. In order for our research process to be more fact-based and detailed, we conducted surveys among the students of the SPJ 7 Carolus through the help of Google Forms. We divided our surveys into 3 parts. Part 1, the possible causes of sleep deprivation. Part 2, the effects of sleep deprivation on a student's academic performance. Part 3, the physiological effects of sleep deprivation. Can this nightmare be fixed, or it will forever be a problem for every student?
It's JOURNTayo Behind the Sleepless Nights and Restless Days.
This is how the new normal affected the lives of every student. These learners are now in the blended learning modality, from having to see each other face to face and now into seeing each other one of them inside the screens.
I think that online learning has overwhelmed some of us students, which causes us to have lack of energy or lack of encouragement to do our work and pass it at the right time. The biggest factor that relates to the problem where most of us work online is because that is where our stress is mostly built up, and we try to get rid of that feeling and relax. We also worry about the reaction of our guardians to our performance, which increases the level of stress that is putting pressure on some of us.
Journey, this is Mrs. Gallinero. He is psychology graduate, teacher 2 from Bagayan National High School, and she'll talk about the impact of sleep deprivation. According to Mrs. Gallinero, a lot of students have issue with the onset of online classes since the beginning of the pandemic. Everybody was caught off guard with the students' shift on the learning delivery. For her, online classes do not necessarily affect the students' sleeping habits since classes are being held in the daytime.
What affects the sleeping of students is more on the adjustment of observing a strict schedule for everything. Since classes are held online with no physical mentors present, students became more lenient in accomplishing their schoolwork. They tend to procrastinate or spend their time on social media until they become loaded with piled-up schoolwork, which leads to them to sleep loss. This presentation clearly shows that even the grade 7 students of IEHS SPJ are greatly affected by this new normal setup. According to the final results of Part 1 of our survey, 33.3% of students agree that procrastination and cramming are one of the key factors of sleep deprivation affecting their sleeping schedules. 24.9% of them also agreed that the addition of major subjects has paved the way for sleep deprivation to enter their lives. On the other hand, 33.3% students disagree that sleeping disorders and unbalanced diets are one of the causes of sleep deprivation. 29.6% of them disagreed that they don't sleep past midnight. Moreover, most students stayed neutral in the last two questions. 33.3% were undecided that they are doing household chores after finishing their classes, and 40.7% of them saying that they are also uncertain that instead of doing homeworks, they stick to their gadgets, playing and scrolling. Since face-to-face classes are coming, parents should help and inform their children about the importance of lack of sleep to their bodies and how it will damage their mental health. If a parent is unsure what to do if their child is suffering from an improper sleeping pattern, they should consult a physician for assistance in treating the problem. The reasons for student sleep deprivation are many, including a wide range of social, cultural, environmental, and biological factors. For example, personal interests and problems, involvement with extracurricular activities including technology and social media, academic demands, living conditions that interfere with sleep. For many teens, other facets of their lives seem more important than sleeping. For example, a large number of teens use social media before going to bed. And even if they want to go to sleep earlier and sleep longer, their biological makeup and school schedules make it difficult for them.
Some of my online students experience sleep deprivation that cause them tiredness, sluggish thinking, and cranky responses. Others keep on playing online games like ML and other mobile games, especially at night. Yes, sleep deprivation really affects students' performance in school because they are not able to concentrate during online class discussions, and they suffer from anxiety, depression, and even suicide attempts.
I still hope that this issue will be ruled out, especially to the parents whose child is suffering from this.
Insomnia can be classified into two different types of insomnia: acute versus chronic. Acute insomnia is when you have a known triggering factor and your insomnia lasts for less than a month. When your insomnia lasts for more than a month, it's then called chronic insomnia. Chronic insomnia can be further classified into adjustment insomnia, which is there's a known triggering factor, it's lasting a little bit longer than 1 month. Psychophysiologic insomnia, where the person is left with behaviors or sleep habits that further perpetuate their insomnia. Paradoxical insomnia, when a person may be sleeping a lot more than they think. Insomnia due to mental disorders, which is usually anxiety or depression, and insomnia due to medical disorders such as diabetes, thyroid problems, hypertension. Chronic insomnia can also be called primary insomnia versus secondary insomnia. Primary insomnia is when you cannot trace your insomnia back to any definitive cause. Secondary insomnia is when you have a direct cause, such as a medical disorder or mental disorder leading to insomnia. So those are the different types of insomnia, and an extensive history is needed to determine what type of insomnia that you may have.
From the interview guide we conducted, Mrs. Gallinero answered the question about the psychological effects of sleep deprivation among students throughout a written format. According to her, sleep deprivation can really cause mental and emotional health issues. It is one of the triggering factors of a lot of mental health issues such as schizophrenia and depression.
Moreover, there are a lot of studies conducted that point out the importance of sleep, especially to pubescent and adolescent individuals. Studies show that sleep deprivation is one of the risk factors affecting our mental health. If this affects our mental health and well-being, definitely sleep deprivation also affects one's academic performance. Loss of sleep makes one feel tired, restless, and inattentive in class. It can also lead to memory loss and lack of concentration, which are vital for a good academic performance in school.
According to the Medscape organization, insomnia refers to the inability to sleep adequately, either in the length or quality, despite the opportunity to sleep. On the other hand, sleep deprivation refers to the curtailed sleep length due to an extremely imposed restriction of the opportunity to sleep.
Therefore, insomnia is a problem which is caused by the body naturally. It could be the result of a messed up body clock and sleeping schedule. Insomnia can be lessened through the use of ointments and medication, as well as home remedies. It can be avoided through proper diet and with the limitations of caffeine and alcohol drinks. Meanwhile, sleep deprivation or loss is the process in which one couldn't sleep as per the result of extreme stress, anxiety, and even depression. Insomnia could be a factor that affects sleep deprivation,
But it doesn't mean that they are the same. Sleep deprivation needs the help of professionals, especially psychologists. As this problem could lead to serious mental and psychological issues, these could be cured through the help of healthy lifestyle as well as positive environment.
Through this, the summary of our survey questionnaire and interview guide, we can observe that the INHS SPG grade 7 students are mostly experiencing insomnia, and a few of them might experience sleep deprivation if this medical condition won't be checked by professionals. In the second part of our survey questionnaire, 25.9% answered that the addition of major subjects to their tasks caused them to have insufficient sleep. 48.1% are having trouble compiling their tasks every morning due to tardiness because of lack of sleep. 40.7% have encountered having several tasks in different subjects which have consumed most of the students' sleeping time. 33.3% of them have come across several power interruptions and internet problems which caused the students to accomplish their assigned tasks late that ruined their sleeping schedule. 55.6% claim that their subject teachers gave them very limited time to do their assigned tasks. 37% of them responded that they are having difficulties every night bringing back their proper sleeping schedule after a hectic day at school. Meanwhile, almost one-third of the class answered that they have experienced having low scores in their activities after having not enough sleep, which caused most of them to do bad in their tasks. 37% of them claim that they are often out of focus when doing their activities at night. 27% answered that they prefer doing their schoolwork at night rather than doing it during the day.
Here are some things we can do to try to help our teens get as much rest as possible. First, establishing a regular bedtime with sleep and wake times that are consistent are very helpful. Although it seems like a great idea to sleep in on the weekends, it actually makes it harder for teens to set their biological clock. It's like switching different time zones when you start on Monday after a weekend. Naps after school can be very tempting for some teens, and if a teen can take a short 15 to 20 minute nap in the early afternoon, this can be helpful, but longer naps can actually disrupt their sleep at night and cause more problems for them with daytime sleepiness while they're at school. One of the biggest sleep disruptors I see is screen use and screen overuse. In the hour before bedtime, all televisions, computers, and phone use should be stopped. The blue light from screens interferes with sleep and also suppresses melatonin production. You should ban all screens from the bedroom because just the presence of a phone in the bedroom can actually disrupt a child's ability to fall asleep and to stay asleep.
Whether it is insomnia or sleep deprivation, it has been clear to us that these issues are nightmares to every student. To answer the question earlier, this can be fixed, but without the help of professionals, guardians, educators, and even the educational system itself, this problem will live forever. This issue needs attention of the majority. These students don't deserve to live in nightmare. Every one of them should learn without the hindrance of this problem. These nightmares should stop. We could end this with the help of everyone. Insomnia and sleep deprivation may differ in some ways, but both of them affect our students. We hope the journey that this could end. As students should be able to enjoy their lives while also learning. There shouldn't be a threat in their mental and psychological well-being.
Sleep deprivation, a nightmare. Together, we could end this. Together, we could fix this.